Okay, hey there, guys. So, as you know, I'm Davil, and I occasionally like to review a game or two, especially when I feel strongly about how much they suck or how much they piss me off. So it's not often that I do a review about a game that I actually think is good. This game is no exception, unfortunately. So, I'm a big fan of the Mafia series, or at least I was until this game. As we start off, you can tell that the lighting is super screwed up. Like, all the shaders are messed up here. And sure, you can chalk that up to, oh, it's just an early start to the game, and it's just loading. It's not. No, don't make excuses. That's garbage. Don't make an excuse for a garbage game. The first problem I have with this game is, all the random, weird, assorted glitches that you have with it. Not even taking the story into account, looking at it merely from a technical gameplay aspect, the engine sucks. There's all kinds of artifacts, and I've updated my drivers. I've seen it on different video cards. I've seen it with different CPUs. I've seen it with pretty much every different hardware configuration you would think of. It's all the same. There's the same graphical glitches, and the game's been out for over a month now. I think. No, it might have been out for. I don't remember when the hurricane was, but it's been out for a little while. Probably it's been out for at least a month. You would think things like that have been patched, especially with like releases of game day release drivers from like NVIDIA. Things like that should get patched, especially when they're as common as they are. And right now, you don't see a whole lot going on, but believe me, the glitches are there, and you will start to see them. Like, if you look in certain spots, you'll see where like it's really strange how it renders. It's like there will be squares of like blurriness or strange just disfigurements in the screen. It's like weird tearing. It's not like your regular anti-aliasing stuff, because it's not the whole screen. It's just like a strange artifact. Anyway, notice I ran somebody over just there when I was playing, and nothing happened. Like, absolutely nothing happened. Just going to point that out. So in the earlier Mafia games, if you ran over somebody, usually other people would go call the police, or you would immediately start getting chased by police. Like, somebody would go report it, and that was it. In this, they kind of tried to make it so that you have a chance to stop people from reporting things, but it doesn't work that well, because one of two things happens. Either nobody goes to do anything about it, or you shoot the person, and then two more people decide to go report it, which seems strange because you would think that those two people would be like, "Hey, just shot that dude." I'm not saying shit, but yeah, whatever. Now, also notice right there, finally, a cop happened to be in the area seeing me, so yeah, now they're gonna chase, right? Now it's gonna matter. That lasted a long time. Okay, great. So anyway, in terms of, is this game good? Is it does it work the same as the other Mafia games? No. And notice, again, I just like slammed into their car, nothing happened, until I just happened to run somebody over. And nobody chases me. Already done. In the other earlier games is great, because you kind of had like a give and take relationship with the police in those games. You had to go the speed limit. I can drive as fast as I want, and nobody will pull you, and nobody pulls you over. You just go. It doesn't matter. Nothing in this game matters. The police don't care. Now, they did get rid of the gas for the vehicles, which I don't really mind so much, because I probably could count on one hand how many times I actually had to get gas for a car in Mafia 1 or 2. So that's not that big of a deal to lose, but the fact that you don't get stopped for speeding, you don't get chased for speeding, none of that matters, that sucks. On top of that, everything you do, you are going to get targeted, and they will try to kill you. It doesn't matter, there's no, escalation of force with these police. And sure, you can try to say, oh, well, one of the themes here is the racism in this area at this time period, and I'll come back to that, because fuck you, man. But it's just I don't even know what that racism thing that just really, it blew my mind. But no, like, the police should have an escalation of force. You, like, I don't know, just being in the wrong place shouldn't immediately trigger a, hey, everybody shoot him reaction, right? Like, it's not even as good as Grand Theft Auto's handling of the police, because they don't have any, like, they have a star level, right? Where you go 1 star to 5 stars. And depending on that, you get a different response. In this, it's always the same damn response, which is they're going to come and shoot you. Like, every single police officer in the city is going to come and try to kill you. That is exactly what happens every single time, which is really stupid. Now, notice I came here to do this mission, and, the mission marker's there, steal the boat. There's no boat. Why? Because the game is broken. So, again, the gameplay, it doesn't work. One of the most important things about a game is that it works. If things like that don't work, that's a clear issue that should have been corrected in, I don't know, alpha, beta, probably beta. It should have never gotten past the final product, and it's really starting to piss me off that so many games think they can just release a game with glaring bugs like that, and it's okay. They think that that's okay, and now they're not even patching it. It's been a month. It hasn't even been patched. It's ridiculous. So, I guess the next thing to talk about is the horribleness of the combat. So, pretty much you win every scenario. There's more graphical glitches, but you win pretty much every scenario, every fight. You can just stealth your way through it. And by stealth your way through it, I mean you just kind of like crouch and, you toggle your crouch on. And then you just run up, walk up behind people and stab them. It's one of those games where you can stab multiple people and, in a one-shot kill type deal, and it doesn't make any difference. That right there should have been an instant kill, but it wasn't because the game decided not to. Then the other one was because the game decided, yeah, why not? Also, I love the tips that just have to pop up, like, always. The game is essentially, at this point in the game where I'm at, everything's done. The main story mission's over. All the side missions are done. I've collected pretty much everything, and which, mind you, took me about 2 days of actual playtime. If that, I would say it's not, because I walked away from the game. I've been running for a long time, so I can't really accurately log my time playing it. But that's another thing. But hold on, stick a pin in that one. Yeah. Oh, God. Alright, so, yeah. The gameplay, like, you just stealth your way through and nothing matters. Nothing can really stop you. Once you get silenced weapons like I have, which comes pretty quickly, the game is essentially won. It's over. You don't really need to try very hard at that point. And I'll show you why as I walk up here and kill every single enemy in the area. Like, there's a guy. Oh, by the way, Eagle Vision, because Assassin's Creed, whatever. Right-click shoot, boom, done. Oh, wow, that was hard. What a difficult situation that was. I don't like it. The game's horrible. So, here's the other thing, right? So, I talked about the gameplays being bad. There's so many things about it that are bad. I really could go on, and I'm just gonna stop, because it speaks for itself. It's not good. It's basically San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, but they took out all the stuff that made it fun and good. That's really all it is. So, cool. Not cool. So here's the next problem I have. It's the story. So, one of the biggest things about Mafia 1 and 2 that really made the games was the fact that the story was so good. It was almost like being part of, an actual mafia family, or being in one of those like mob movies, like The Grandfather. Or not The Grandfather, sorry, that's stupid. The Godfather. It was like being in The Godfather, right? Some of the things even actually, I think, that came directly from the movie or from other movies, like Carlito's Way and stuff. Like, there's a lot of good movies And there's a lot of cool mob tie-ins and things that they could do that they still could have done with the series they hadn't done yet. But you know what we did instead? We decided, you know what? We're going to base this game in an area that is probably one of the last places that you would think of when it comes to the Italian mafia, right? Because that's really the only mafia is the Italian one. Everything else is just kind of like a cop because mafia is an Italian thing, right? So this is, what the hell is this? This is a guy who's not part of the mafia. He's not Italian. He's black. He's not going to be in an Italian mob. He's going to be used by them. So obviously, yeah, it makes sense, the story that they have, that he's going to get revenge. But it's not mafia. Sure, you're kind of going after a southern mafia. The guys aren't even Italian. They talk with that like Creole or what is that? I can't even think of the accent that you get in the Bayou. Like the Cajun accent type thing that they do. It's like fighting going up against a bunch of gambits. Like, it sucks. They're not the mafia. And like the one good mafia, the two good mafia characters that are in this game, the first, no spoilers for the other one, but in the first one, Vito Scaletta, he was the main character he was your character in Mafia 2. And he was so cool. It was great. You got to, there was so much development for him. They took him from, a guy that went to the war, his family was just a poor immigrant family, and they made him, and he, spent all this time and eventually worked his way up, became a made man, had to kill his best friend. Sorry, spoilers. But, all this story went into him. You went through as, his mother died while he was in jail. His sister ends up getting involved with things that he didn't want her to get involved with. His family does. He ends up having, one of the missions is going to kill the protagonist from the first game. It's like everything tied in. It was so good. And then he's in this game, and you see him, and you're like, oh, it's going to be awesome. I want to work for that guy. I can't wait to see what he does. And then it's like, he's a punk-ass bitch. He doesn't do anything, and he gets his ass beat, almost that's the beginning of the game with him, is he gets his ass beat, and you have to save him from a couple guys, because whatever. And if you weren't there, he would have just gotten punked by a bunch of goons. That's not how that guy was. He was a badass. How did he get captured by 4 dudes? Just they weren't even I don't, man, it sucks so bad. But anyway, the main character that we do get, he's not good. And sure, he might say I'm racist because I don't like this black character, and because this is supposed to be a story about the struggles of a black person in New Orleans, basically, in Louisiana, which I'm not saying that's not a thing. I know I have friends that are black that are from Louisiana, and I've heard all of their stories about, even to this day, how absolutely racist things are. And I understand there's a lot of stuff going on with the police nowadays. And it seems like this game was made to capitalize on that. And it's like a racial divide that I don't like at all in the first place. And this character, he is a direct product of that, because he has exactly one note. And if you've ever seen the movie I'm Gonna Get You, Sucka, that's exactly what that is. He's not, intelligent. He's not, they kind of try to make it seem like it, but he's not. He doesn't do anything himself. He has to have everything explained to him. He's not a caring individual. He doesn't have any development. Granted, this game doesn't have seasons, which is another big issue. The other games, they had, you had different seasons, so it was oh, cool, you get to see the character grow and get stronger and become a better person or a different person. See him go from, nobody to being somebody and having to deal with having all this power and wealth, and their friends turn evil and all this other stuff. This guy, his friends are all evil to begin with. he himself is basically an evil piece of shit. He hates everyone. He wants to kill everything. He doesn't really care about anything other than, I am going to get revenge on this guy by killing every single person. I'm gonna get you, sucka. That's all this is. This game is I'm gonna get you, sucka, in game form. That was the other thing about the racism thing. So when you start this game up and you start a new game, there is a disclaimer from the makers of the game that says, we don't condone using language, blah, 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 but we felt it was necessary to convey the story and blah, blah, blah. That's stupid. That is so stupid. Why do they have to justify using language? It's because they're pussies. That's it. Like, it's like a given, right? If you're going to make a violent video game, it's a given you're going to use language of whatever kind you want to use to get your point across. Like, that's it. Like, it's so stupid that they have to put something like that in. Did they have a disclaimer in Call of Duty 4 when you go through the airport and, like, maul, like, you know, a pretty much an infinite number of unarmed civilians in that game? Notice, by the way, how much it took me to get the police to notice me. But, like, that it's not necessary. That's such a stupid, pussy way of going about it. Yeah, I don't think I even have to say any more about that. The next aspect of this game that is absolute garbage, that really makes me sad for this franchise now, is one of the first missions that you get when you become a made man with Vito Scaletta in Mafia 2 is, you know, you have to go through the sewers, and you get back, and the guys are like, hey, you smell like shit, why don't you go change your clothes? Which is something you do, like, early on in the game, but you do it frequently, because it's something they were proud of, is the fact that you could change your outfit to whatever you want. You could look like a mobster. You could look like whatever. In this game, guess what Lincoln Clay wears the entire game? What he's wearing now. He doesn't change ever. He is always in that same I just returned from Vietnam outfit, which, well, okay, so he does change like twice. There's 2 other outfits for him, but that's few and far between. It's a very brief time. But it's like, if that's... There needs to be options. This game supposedly takes place, you know, late 60s, early 70s, like in that time period. Even though seasons don't change and doesn't really show any, really doesn't make much of an attempt to show any passage of time, they do make mention that time has passed. Like, it's been at least a year, and he's still wearing the same stuff. The same damn clothes. And I just don't get it. Why would you not let people change clothes? And also car customization, boat customization. In the other games, that was a big part of it. You could do whatever you wanted with the cars. You could do everything from changing the rims, changing the color, changing the engine, making it a faster car, to something as simple as changing what the license plate said. Like, it was really that good and detailed, and that was great. In this, you don't. You simply don't. There is nothing that you can customize with a vehicle or with your outfit. There's really nothing to customize, period. You don't customize your weapons. There's sort of upgrades, but not really. It's garbage. This whole thing is garbage. I mean, look what well, you'll see in a minute, but let's move on to things like music, right? So, the time in the 60s and 70s was a really great time for music. It was a big transitional time. There were a lot of songs about, you know, anti-war, and there was just a lot, because, I mean, we had Vietnam going on and stuff. You know, there was a lot of good songs, but it's like they didn't want to use any of them. I mean, they're down in the South. They don't have a single Elvis song in this. There are exactly 3 radio stations, and 2 of them play kind of music, and one of them is a talk station. This is the most boring game to, like, listen to musically. They have maybe, I don't know if they even have one CCR song. I know they've got, I think, I don't think it's any more than 3 Johnny Cash songs. I think it may be 2. I don't know if I even have 2. But, man, the music choices here are ridiculous. Much like the fact that I'm currently driving this fan-powered, boat on land, because that's a thing that should be in the game. This is actually the most fun I had in the game the entire time, was this. Doing this was the most fun I have had playing the game, period. Bar none. This was it. So let's see. Let me try to sum this up. The gameplay sucks, the graphics suck, the music sucks, the story sucks. Only fun thing is the fact that I'm driving this stupid boat. Doesn't stick with the original story very much. Yeah, it's complete and utter garbage. So I initially wanted to say when I started this review process that, it might be worth playing if you didn't ever play Mafia 1 and 2, and if it was on a Steam sale for about $5, then it would probably be worth it. I don't know right now if it would be worth that. Like, the more I think about it, the less worth it I think it is. Because I know I'm never going to play this again. Oh, by the way, there are the ability to... one thing they did copy from the previous games, you can collect Playboy magazines and some other posters. But you know what the Playboys are? They are all exactly the same ones that you got from Mafia 2. They are literally the same. Why even do it? And I don't care. This game is crap. Don't play it. Don't buy it. If you get it for $5, you'll still feel dirty. So just don't bother. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this review. Hope it has helped you make your decision on whether or not you wanted to buy this if you haven't already bought it. And if there's anything else you want me to talk about, feel free. Put it in the comments. If you want me to play something, I'll play it. I like playing things. If you want me to show you how to cheat on something, anything but this, put that in the comments too. And other than that, I will see you next time.